Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Chant Day. We are here today again. This is oh my goodness. I am thankful for this day. Thanks so much for joining Chant Day. We are here again today. Today is Sunday, blessed Sunday for everyone. Happy Sunday. This is the 10th of November. It is about 6 a.m. here on the East Coast. And as I looked at the Psalm today, I was pleasantly, I was just like, this is nice. Because as you all know, I've been going through the loss of my dad, the loss of a companion, the loss of a friend, the loss, basically losing, people and relationships. So I've been going through that, and I've been going through that since 2023, y'all. Okay. The latter part, December 2022, when I gave my relationship an ultimatum, either we're going to be a team or not. You know what I mean? So in 2023, my son passed away here in Southern California, actually, right up the road somewhere here. And in 2024, my dad passed away. So I've been going through loss and loss and loss and loss. And this Psalm today is 63. It is titled, My Life Thirsts for Righteousness. It thirsts. I'm thirsty. As a matter of fact, I don't even have water or tea. I don't have any water. My water is finished, and I'm thirsty, physically thirsty. I need to go get some water. However, when we talk about this psalm, when we talk about thirst, okay, when we talk about thirst and thirsting for something, greetings only _ gaming. Blessed rise to you. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for liking this video. This is a Chant Day where I get to share the psalm, the words of goodness and righteousness and mercy and kindness and all of that we are supposed to be about, right? So thank you so much for joining Chant Day and tuning in. The Psalm today is 63, and thank you for liking this video, by the way. That really means so much, because that is an action, a behavior of kindness, to like something, to share that you like something. So we're going to get started, because this Psalm today is 11 verses, and it may help someone out there see that even though you're alone, you are not forgotten. Even though you have lost relationships and people, you are not forgotten. So the Psalm today, 63, begins with verse 1. And thank you for liking this video. Thank you so much. That really means a lot. It begins with, "Oh God, you are my God," right? What is God? What is that? I translate God into righteousness, mercy, love, kindness, long-suffering, forgiveness, honesty, humility. And I want to walk in those spaces, right? And serve that. So in Psalm 63, verse 1, "Oh righteousness, you are my righteousness. You are my goodness and my mercy," right? And I earnestly seek for that. I earnestly seek for that mercy and compassion and righteousness. My life thirsts for that righteousness and mercy and compassion, right? And my physical body faints for that. It faints to have that righteousness and mercy and kindness. And it is as in a dry and weary land where there is no water. Okay, so verse 1 kind of really packs a punch in terms of looking at comparing the lack of water and being in a dry and weary land to how you feel for that righteousness. It's you're thirsting for it because maybe you've been hurt. Maybe things or wrongness have been around and going on, right? And you're earnestly seeking. I told someone yesterday, I said, the shepherd is shepherding us into righteousness. Okay. Blessed greetings, John. Hi from Miami Beach. I'm in the East Coast right now today. Greetings, Chawa. Blessed greetings to you. Thanks for joining Chant, and thank you so much for liking this video. You don't even have to be here. You don't even have to like the video, but you did. You're showing your kindness and your mercy, and you're in that space. So I thank you so much for that. That means so much because it shows what we're talking about here in terms of the Psalm. So when I look at this Psalm 63, and in that Psalm, the first verse just kicks it off. Now, this Psalm, the history of Psalm 63, David was in the wilderness. When David was in the wilderness of Judah, okay? When we talk about the wilderness, we're talking about a barren place, you're out in, creation, right? And that is where a lot of times you get inspiration, you get revelations, right? When you are out in the wilderness, or you are alone, you get revelations. You find out who you are because you don't have the influences of other people around you. So you're not pretending to be somebody else. When you're alone, this is who you are. So when I look at Psalm 63, my life is thirsting for that righteousness and that mercy and that compassion. It's being compared to as if you're in a dry land and needing water, and there's none, right? So Psalm 63 verse 2 now talks about, so I have looked upon that righteousness in the sanctuary, in that sacred space. You're looking for the righteousness. You're looking here. You're just looking, right? And beholding that power and that glory, right? To righteousness be the glory. People say to God be the glory. Yes. What does God mean? It means that righteousness, right? That goodness and that mercy, that sacred love that you cannot find with human beings. You can find that sacred love with the one that's above, right? And when you find that in someone, it's just magical. It's magical when you can find a like-minded individual like yourself who shares your beliefs, shares your behaviors, and agrees with the goodness of righteousness and the mercy of that and the grace of that. So when I look at this Psalm, verse 2 is talking about that sanctuary, that space of tranquility and serenity and patience and kindness and love, all of that enfolded into that space. So, and it's going to behold that power. That's where that power and that glory lives. So in verse 3, because of this righteousness is steadfast love. It's always steadfast. You can count on it. That steadfast love is better than life. Okay? Man, and your lips will chant. Your lips will give that adulation and give that. In the psalm, it says, it speaks of praise. And I look at praise as an adulation, as a sacred giving thanks in the abundance of goodness, using music and melody, even an a cappella voice with your lips to give thanks. So in verse 4 now, it speaks of, I will bless righteousness. Like, thank you, God, for righteousness. Thank you for that. I'm going to bless that as long as I live. In the name of righteousness, I will lift up my hands. When I went to use the bathroom this morning, I thanked righteousness that I could get up walk to the bathroom and sit and use it. Some people are not able to do that. They're not able to get up, walk to the bathroom and sit and use it. So these little things that we may take for granted, this morning, righteousness showed me that. And I was thankful in that moment. I'm like, thank you for allowing me to get up and to sit. There was a shooting in Alabama, I think in Tuskegee, at a university there. They were having homecoming and a shooting broke out. My heart goes out to the families and the students and the university. That is the time we are in right now. And because it's the time we're in right now, we have to stick closer and closer to that one that is higher than us, because we see that there's wrongness happening around. And so in verse 5, my life will be satisfied. Now this is a comparison. My life will be satisfied just as one is satisfied with fat and rich food. My mouth will chant melody, will chant Isis, will chant praises. Some people call praises Isis. They don't use PRA. So when we chant that melodic sound with our mouths, we're doing that with joy. It's a joyful lips it's coming out of, right? So verse 6, when I remember righteousness upon my bed and meditate on righteousness in the watches of the night. So you're meditating on good things. Your thoughts are about, okay, what good can I bring to the world today? What can I do to help someone today? What can I do to give of kindness today? What can I do to show mercy to someone today? So you're remembering all those righteous acts, those behaviors. Remember, I talked about beliefs and behaviors. So beliefs and behaviors, you are meditating on those, and you're doing that in the watches of the night. So when you're going to bed at night, this is what you're thinking of. And that righteousness has been your strength. And in the shadow of the wings of righteousness, you're going to chant for joy. And your life is clinging to that righteousness. Your righteousness is upholding you. This is verse 8. Your righteousness upholds you. Remember that. Your goodness is what's going to keep you in the right space, right? So in verse 9, the final three verses, 9, 10, and 11, those who seek, now it's getting it's shifting now to talk about people who seeking to destroy your life. So when you're clinging to that righteousness, guess what? You're going to be, and I find this, the closer I get to the Most High, the closer I seek for that, the more, how can I put this? The more oftentimes people want to hurt you. They want to hurt you because you're not following the idols of the world. Okay. People are getting ready for Christmas, right? They're putting up Christmas trees. They're decorating, and they're doing all this stuff in the name of God and Lord and Jesus, right? However, remember beliefs and behaviors. Why is it that a Christmas tree is the centerpiece of the holiday? Why is that? Can anybody answer that question? Why is a Christmas tree the centerpiece of Jesus's birth? I did not see a Christmas tree. Well, I wasn't there at Jesus's birth. But the stories that I've been told and the scriptures that I've read does not mention that. If I'm wrong, please correct me. I did not see anywhere that this is mentioned in terms of putting up a Christmas tree. So, because the world does that, people who don't are going to be ostracized. They're going to be criticized. They're going to be, want people, they're going to, people are going to want them gone. You're you're what they call it, Scrooge. You're a bah humbug. You're just, not getting on with the holiday spirit. Remember, there are different kinds of spirits. When I talk about that word, I use iritz, meaning righteousness. I am righteous. And that's what the spirits that I want around me, those that are righteous spirits, because we have spirits out there that are not righteous. So, in knowing that, those who seek to destroy righteousness or destroy life shall go down into the depths of the earth, meaning that they will be buried 6 feet in the ground. Okay, remember, when you dig a hole for someone to try to destroy someone, you better dig 2, one for you. So in verse 10, these ones who are trying to destroy your life or hurt you are going to be given over to the power of the sword. You don't have to do anything. That's why vengeance is the Lord's. Vengeance belongs to righteousness. It does not belong to you, because as a human being, you're going to go into wrongness to try to make something right. You don't want to do that. 2 wrongs does not make anything righteous. So righteous people leave wrong people alone. If somebody done you wrong, you say bless you and move on. You do not try to seek revenge on someone. Don't. Because then you're putting your hand into wrongness. And remember, your righteousness is going to uphold you. You're not going to fall. Okay, I fell and broke this arm because I went into wrongness. And I think I mentioned this on one of my Psalms, how that happened. And when we look at that, in verse 10, wrongness is going to be given over to the power of the sword. And the wrongness is going to be a portion for jackals, meaning that these jackals, these, animals are going to eat the flesh of the wrongness. That's their portion. However, I and I are going to rejoice in righteousness. That's where we're going to stay. We're going to leave all that stuff over on that side, and we're going to rise up into the Mount Zion of righteousness. That's where we're seeking. You ever heard, get on the Zion train? Zion means righteousness. It means that sacred place of goodness and mercy and love that you so want to be. You don't want to get up in age and you're suffering because of some wrongness that you have done to somebody who did you wrong, and you're justifying it. Doesn't work. So guess what? In the final verse, I is going to rejoice. We're going to be joyful again and again and again and again in righteousness. And all who swear by righteousness shall be exalted. Okay, I am going to let everyone know about the righteousness of the goodness and mercy of what I know is to be the Most High. And I want a companion that also sees that exactly. Okay, thank you, Mariela Tecas, for your comment. You just remember to stay in your righteousness, because relationships, we can have, there's different kinds of ships, right? Relationships, okay? And when that relationship can be, at work, home, or school. That's what I say, or community. You have relationships at home, you have them at your job, you have relationships in your community, okay? So these spaces that you have relationships, you have a manager that said behind your back certain things, but your supervisor supports you, that's a good thing. You have an advocate. You just stay in your good place. Do not hold anything against the manager who said bad things to you. Send them a flowers. Yeah, give them a little flower, a little gift, and say, here, that's what you do. But you have to do that from the bottom of your heart, from the goodness of your heart. It cannot be a fake thing. You can't just do it just to be faking, and underneath you don't like the person. No, you have to find that love for even the worst person. You have to find that love. Okay. I had to do that. Somebody, I did not like what they're doing to my grandmother's property. I don't know. And all that stuff. My sister was like, I'm going to burn the place down. I was like, no, we're not going to burn nothing down. We're going to send love from the bottom of our pinky toe. From our pinky toe, we're going to find that love, okay, and bring it all the way up and out. So Mariela, you just stick in there and remember, you are blessed, highly favored, and wonderfully made. You have that goodness that you were formed in your mother's womb with. You and the Most High are buddies. Don't push that righteousness away because somebody brought wrongness to your life for that moment. You grab onto righteousness and use that to fight your battles. And then you'll be able to walk away to fight again another day. So in the ending of the verse, it talks about the mouths of liars will be stopped. And that is for Mariela Tecas. The mouth of liars will be stopped. You know you're doing a good job. People are threatened by good people. So guess what? It's important to remember to stay in truth and righteousness, because that is how the mouths of liars are going to be stopped in their tracks. And you will see, you're going to come onto my channel again and tell me about this person, this manager who spoke ill of you and is threatened by your power and strength. Thank you so much. Yes, amen and amen again. And you are welcome that I pronounced your name correctly. I have a supervisor. She told me I'm the first person that pronounced her name correctly. And I'm a reader. I'm a librarian. I'm a teacher. I'm an educator. I am a lover of books. I will not argue with someone whose TV is bigger than their bookshelf. I'm not, because then you have nothing to contribute to the discussion, because your TV is bigger than your bookshelf, and your TV becomes the centerpiece of your home instead of the books and reading and trying to, find knowledge by using your own abilities of intellectual integrity, okay? As opposed to sitting and having a TV, do the work and you're passively watching, okay? So remember that, because the mouths of liars will be stopped. You don't have to argue with a liar. You don't have to argue with anybody. You stand in your truth and you walk in your light, and everything around you that's lies are going to fall to the side, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, how did that happen? It happened because you stayed in your righteousness. You stayed in your good place. In other words, you stayed in there. You didn't leave it because somebody is trying to take you out of it into their negative car and drive you. No, you open the door of that negative and that lying and that wrongness. Open the door and get out. Step out, close it, and let them go on their way. That's it. It's hard because you may love someone who's in that car. You may want to be with that person who's in that car. That may be your husband. That may be your wife. That may be your brother. That may be your sister. But if they are driving you to do wrong things or to make you feel bad or to not value you or to not, give you what you need, then you have to walk out. You have to leave. You have to get out the car, and you don't want to hate anybody. You want to send love and have love in your heart and love them from a distance. Like, there you are over there, I'm over here, and we can be, you know, um, cordial with each other from a distance. My beliefs and my behaviors may be different from yours. It doesn't mean I'm better than you or you're better than me. It doesn't mean that. Just because I disagree with having a Christmas tree as the centerpiece of the celebration of Jesus's birth, we are not supposed to be making images and idols. Moses came down from the mountain and saw them making this Christmas tree, these decorations and all this. And he was like, what the heck are you doing? Now I know why I was up there on the mountain receiving these commandments. You shall have no other God before me. Why people are doing that? Because of the fact that people are following the things of the world. I'm in this world, but I'm not of this world. This world has fallen away from the righteousness of the Most High. This world is filled with lies, deceit, all kinds of stuff. I don't want it in my home. I'm not going to have that in my home. I don't want that. I don't want in my home, to have an electric running house. I want solar. I want the sun to run my electronics. I don't want a stove where it's hooked up with a gas and blows up. I want a wood stove where I can get wood from my backyard, cut the pieces of wood, put them in my stove, get it turned on, and make my hot tea, make my beans, make my protein, because I don't want meat. Hey, Derek! Mwah, my brother Derek. Oh my gosh, you can make me cry now. Thanks for joining Chant Day, Derek. I love you. Oh my goodness. So this is what I seek to have in my home is, a natural environment, a natural environment. I don't even want a TV. I don't want a TV. You have your computers and stuff, you can see the news and everything like that, but I don't want to have like a TV as the centerpiece, in my home. So that is our psalm today, but I wanted to share with you all the word today, because the word today, when I saw it, I was like, yay! The word today is honor. Honor. So I honor those who place the needs of others above their own. This 5 days in California was amazing, okay? And I want to honor those individuals who put their needs aside for me. They place the needs of me above their own. And I honor them for that, because that is a person who is selfless. They're not thinking of just themselves. They're thinking of the other person, right? And that's how I've always been. I've always sacrificed myself for other people to help. This is what I do. And it's something that is part of me, because that God lives in there. We are the good soil. We have to pour into our good soil. We are the good soil. So today I honor with thoughts and of respect and gratitude those who answered the call to serve. Are you going to answer the call to serve? And what are you going to serve? Okay, I cannot serve idols. Like, I can't make an image of God and do that, because God to me is an omnipresent experience, right? God is that righteous mist that flows and that does not end. It's steadfast. It's always around us. We may choose not to see it. We may choose because we're watching TV, we're watching the game or something. But even in that, we can see that power of righteousness at work. So I bless the fact that I'm able to share the best, to be able to share the best of yourself, okay? To put others' needs above one's own, to be willing to sacrifice one's very life is honorable, okay? It is. I have gone without so others can have, okay? I have gone without things so others could have them. I'm like, you know what? You need a new vehicle. You know, you have your boys, you have your family. I'm going to help you with that. You know what I mean? Even though I'm walking every day, but I'm going to give that to someone. So that is that example of that sacrifice, one's very life. And that's where that honor comes in. And now in that sacrifice, I'm seeing the fruits of my labor come to fruition, because, you know, God always is telling us that we're supposed to be living in abundance. We're not supposed to be going from paycheck to paycheck. We're not supposed to be struggling out here. We're supposed to be living in abundance. But because we choose to serve other gods, we're going to have a difficult time. And I do not want to serve money. I don't want to serve people in terms of, when I say serving people, I mean being a person who, that, you know, whatever that person is wanting, you are giving. And in that, you become controlled and manipulated by a person, right? And you shift into serving God and then serving that person. And you may serve that person and in a way where it's, even though it's wrong, you still want to serve that person just so you don't have to hear an argument, just so you don't have to hear a fighting. So that, what ends up happening is that person is manipulating you into serving them. And then where is God? God is nowhere in the midst of it, because now you're serving that person. You're afraid to do this because that person is going to say this. You're afraid to, you're like, oh my goodness, I can't, I can't call and speak to this person because this person's going to be upset. You know, it's like you begin to shift your love of God into serving people's insecurities. And when Jesus, you know, Jesus told his disciples, one of them wanted to go bury their uncle, right? And Jesus was like, look, you let the dead bury the dead. You gonna come and follow righteousness or what? You're serving the people, you know, what people say about you, or are you serving what God says about you? Because people are going to talk about you. They're going to say all kinds of stuff about you. Okay? And people sometimes want friends, so they want to, you know, they want to change how they are for someone else. And I told someone this yesterday. I was like, I'm not compromising my beliefs and behaviors. No. Because this beliefs and behaviors are serving God. It's not, I'm not serving you. When I serve God, then I'm able to discern who you are and what you are and what I am in your life. Okay. So in the word today, honor, it goes on about, I bless these special ones. These special ones are people who sacrifice their own life for other people. I look at Malcolm X. I look at Marcus Garvey. I look at Martin Luther King. These individuals sacrifice their life for Black people to wake them up and shake them up. Like, listen, their life was a sacrifice because they shared the best of themselves. They put others' needs above their own. So these are examples of what honor is. So I bless them, these special ones, with prayers. And I call prayers communication to God. I don't really use the word prayer because, okay, that's fine if you want to use that. But I go deeper. I'm going to talk to God. I'm going to sit on my bum like compassion, mercy, because this is what God's names are. Not Jesus is the name we lift up. But what does Jesus mean? Jesus means love, compassion, long suffering, forgiveness, mercy, compassion. This is all encompassing of what that one is and was and is to be and is to come. So because we have that advocate, we have to be appreciative of that and we have to commune with that. I tell people when I lay down in my bed, I'm laying down with righteousness. I sleep with goodness. I sleep with mercy and compassion. That's my bedmate, right? When I am holding, that's what holds me at night. Okay. Someone said to me, oh, I need somebody to hold me. I want somebody to hold me. I want somebody to be in the bed with me. I want them to. People are temporary. Temporary. Okay? What did Jesus says he has to go to prepare a place. You know, remember Jesus wept when he saw Mary and Martha weeping? He wept because he saw that he had to go. But because of that, we can't let go. We got to keep holding on to that. And that is the only way we're going to see our way through this world, through this life. So I bless those special ones with prayers of appreciation. I commune with righteousness. I talk to God. And I want God to know that these special ones know security and protection as they serve and love of mine once their service is complete, right? I also honor those who served through how I live my life. We're going into, I think it's Veterans Day or something like that. People, you know, my dad was a veteran. God rest his soul. He passed away July 9th at the age of 79. Isn't that interesting? July is the 7th month, the 9th day, and my dad was 7-9 when he passed. And that was tragic for me because it was 4:00 in the morning and I heard screaming, I heard, noise, and I was sleeping and I was dealing with the loss of a relationship at the time. So I'm confused as to what's going on. And then I heard, Carla. I ran into my parents' bedroom and there on the ground is my dad laying there. And I'm like, what in the world? So I went to him and I said, Daddy, wake up. And his eyes were open. His tongue was hanging out and I was in denial. I was like, I think I hear a pulse. So I ran to get the ambulance to guide them up the hill because we're on an island. And I ran to get the ambulance. And as I was running, I heard the voice of God tell me, he's already gone. He's already gone. He's free. He's safe. This is what I heard now. He's free. He's safe. He's in the bosom of Abraham. I said, what am I hearing? It was inside my heart I heard this. And I said, what am I hearing? It was such a comforting voice and a comforting feeling that I could have passed out running. I was running so fast. My heart was going. I thought I was going to pass out in the road. But I was lifted up. This is unbelievable. I was lifted up. And it was as if someone was carrying me up the hill. And as I got up the hill, the ambulance, and I have a video of, I'm not gonna show it, but it's a video that I took of them coming up and then going up into the room, and there's my dad. My dad was my hero. So seeing your hero on the ground tells me life is temporary. It's not forever. Physically, when we see each other, it's temporary. It's temporary. So my dad was a veteran, and he served in the Vietnam War. I had to find the strength, and that's what I said, to write the eulogy and read it in the church. And people were like, "Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful what you wrote. How did you find the strength to write that and to read it like that?" I said, that one gave me the strength. That one is my right hand, my left hand. That one is before me, behind me, on the side of me. That one is all around me. And I heard that one tell me, he's already gone. He's already gone. He's safe. He's free out of his flesh that was holding him captive to the Agent Orange disease that the Vietnam War did to him. He's free, and he's in the bosom of Abraham. So I honor the people who came before me, who fought in the wars and who lost their lives so that we can have one. Okay? I honor those who served by how I live my life. How I live my life. Thank you so much, Mariela Tecas. Angels will lift you up so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I honor those, right? I live with a fresh awareness of and renewed gratitude for my freedoms and privileges. I am very privileged to be a Black woman. Okay, I'm privileged to be a Black Caribbean woman in a world where my skin color is a threat, where my skin color and the place that I'm from and the degrees that I have are weaponized against me. Yeah. Even from people that are my companions and my close companions who I thought were my friends, they used my degrees as a weapon against me. "Oh, I can't talk to you. You're hard to talk to because and I'm the easiest person to talk to. You just be real. Be kind, be real, and you can talk to me. I'm willing to listen and to talk and to hear what you have to say." So, and I'm learning how not to talk over people. I'm learning how to take my passion and not let it burst out into people's ears, because sometimes people are not ready for that, for me, or the passion that I have. So I have to learn how to, discern folks and look and see, how far to go in my passion. So I live with a fresh awareness of and renewed gratitude for my freedoms and privileges. I am standing firm in righteousness that I would not be able to live as I do without the service and sacrifice of those who came before me. Okay? In reverence and with respect, I honor those who served. Okay? So this word today, honor, is very special as we go into Veterans Day. And I don't celebrate American holidays like that, but I do honor those who came before me. I honor my ancestors because they're watching in their vision of their ancestral life, Okay. They may not have that physical body, but they are sitting around us, watching through that energy that cannot be destroyed. Okay. Scientifically, when we look at science, energy, is, energy cannot be destroyed. Okay. When we look at the word energy, it is the ability to do work, mean the capacity to cause change or exert force. And the key points of energy is it can't be created or destroyed. So when we look at can't be created, that energy within a person, that's why when you touch something, you get like an electric shock, because that's that energy. And there's two different types, kinetic and potential. And there's, according to the law of conservation of energy, energy can be transformed from one form to another. Okay. So that energy that's inside of my dad has been transformed from one form that he's not using that physical body to another. Okay. So when I'm on campus and I see the hawk bird coming right in front of me, I'm like, okay, that's my dad. That's part of what that energy is. So I like the fact that the word today is brought to us by Proverbs 21:21. Okay, Proverbs 21:21 speaks, whoever pursues righteousness, okay, and kindness will find life and honor. So, are you pursuing righteousness and kindness? And when you do that, how does that look? How does that look? Whoever pursues righteousness and kindness will find life and honor, right? Proverbs 21:21. So when I pursue righteousness, the ways I do that is with my family, with my friends, and with my students. Okay. As a single woman of 3 children, the oldest one passed away, as I said. My first son passed away right up here in California somewhere. They found him in a hotel, in a motel 6. Okay, deceased, overdose from fentanyl. So when they found him, I didn't know until 2 months later, and I had to call looking for my son. So when I look at pursuing righteousness and kindness, the way I do that is by supporting my family, my friends, my close companions. And as a single woman, I feel that it's important for me to pursue righteousness by being an example of what that is. So when someone attacks me, or they leave a vicious voicemail, and I played it on my, I let everybody hear this vicious voicemail. Anyway, I'm gonna have to write up something called the vicious voicemail. But anyway, I do not retaliate or revenge, right? What I did was I sent this person that sent me a vicious voicemail, I showed them kindness and sent their children. Okay. They got about 5 kids. I sent 2 of their children, right? A Crayola box of supplies. I mean, beautiful box of supplies. And 2 birdhouses that they could paint and hang. And I said on the gift card, I said, my bird friends, because I love birds, my bird friends are going to love you for that. And I signed it from an angel of God, because that's who I look at myself. I am a worker for God. That's who I work for. I work for righteousness. I pursue righteousness and kindness. And even though I was hurt and disappointed and saddened, I still erred on the side of righteousness. Okay. I still gave of my goodness. And in that giving, I found relief. I found a lot. Your heart becomes light. So you're not holding animosity, you're not holding grudges, you're not holding insecurities, you're not being a manipulator of someone's feelings. You're showing kindness, and that's how you will find life and honor, is by showing kindness to people who have hurt you. That's how you do it. Okay. You show that to people, and honor will come to you. Life in abundance. It's happening to me. I'm here in California for a conference, but I also met with some folks. I'm not going to talk about it on my live, but it's interesting what is about to happen to me, to my life. It's about to be transformed. When I talk about transformations, I look at what the verse of the day is today. And the verse of the day is coming from Job. And you know some Job. Job 37, verse 5 to 6. Okay. Job 37, verse 5 to 6 talks about how the voice of the righteousness of God thunders in marvelous ways. And how that voice of God does amazing things beyond our own understanding, beyond our own knowledge. Okay? God's voice thunders in marvelous ways and does great things beyond our own understanding and knowledge. God says to the snow, fall on the earth. Look at Colorado. Colorado is high, waist deep in snow. I saw it on the news today. Thanks for joining this Chant, and thank you for liking this video, by the way. That is pursuing righteousness and kindness. And by liking the video, you're gonna that's part of your pursuit of righteousness and kindness, because you're showing me kindness. And I'm thankful for that. So Job is talking about how the righteousness of the Most High says to the snow, fall on the earth, fall on the earth, and to the shower, to the rain shower, be a mighty downpour. So I love how the voice of righteousness is so powerful, and it does these amazing things. We don't even have the knowledge to put it in our frame of thinking. Okay, like I created an app, right? How in the world now there's a frigging bidding war we got going on, and we got lawyers, we got attorneys, we got, patent, we got these folks, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, here I am, a black girl, black woman from a tiny island. You can't even see it on the map. And I'm at the table sitting with these folks about a creation I made. Oh my gosh. And then I'm sitting at the table with folks who want to take my oil and market it because it's healing folks. It's beyond my knowledge of how things are happening. I just do the work. I work hard. I travel a lot. I work hard. You can't be with someone like me if you're not strong-minded and you're not afraid to be alone. You're not afraid to be supportive. You're not afraid to work hard like I work hard. You're not afraid to get 3 jobs if you have to pay that bills. You're not afraid to be a team. Someone told me, they said, I don't want to be on your team because you're too hard. It's too hard. But guess what? The road to life is hard. But the road to destruction and death is easy. You want the easy road? Like I told my first son who passed away, he made a choice. I said, do you want life or death? Financial or physical death? There's two ways you can go. The hard road or the easy road. The hard road is it's hard for a camel to get through the eye of a needle. That's comparing the rich man getting into heaven. It's hard, right? But the road to destruction is wide. It's wide and open. Like, come on in. You want to lose your life? You want to be in financial debt? You want to be in physical debt? Then go the easy road. Go to payday loan. Go the easy road. Go stealing money from the PPP loan. Go steal this, steal that. The road of destruction is broad and open. It's filled with the mouths of liars and stealing and cheating and all this stuff, according to Psalm 63 we read today, right? Verse 11. For the mouths of liars will be stopped completely. So in the Trinity of this Psalm today, let's recap, because I have to go to breakfast. I got to get my flight. Out of here and returning and then going to Dallas, meeting with some folks in Dallas. Meeting with some investors there who they ready. Like, what's her name? Tiffany Haddish. She ready. She's ready. I'm ready. So let's see what's going to happen. Because being a Black woman at the table with these folks can be intimidating. But because I have who I have, that righteousness, that Most High, that Jesus love, guess what? I'm not going to be afraid of 10,000 that fall by my side. I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to keep on going, because guess what? We're supposed to be living in abundance of goodness. I told my son who's alive, I told him, you're going to get up one morning, you're going to be like, what car should I take today? Because you're going to have an abundance. You're going to, in the garage, when you go downstairs, you're going to be like, what car should I take today? Because there's going to be 3-4 cars in there. Okay, you're going to have your own suite in my home. There's a suite over there. I'm going to have to text you on the phone, because I'm going to be in my suite, in my room, and I'm going to have to text you, because how can we communicate in a home, right? So we look at our lives, and we look and see the mistakes we made. And some people don't want to change. They want to stay the same. But guess what? The only thing that stays the same is God. God doesn't change. People say, oh, if God stays the same, God's going to stay the same. God was what God was yesterday, today, and what God's going to be. Righteousness doesn't shift into something else and morph. Righteousness is, kindness is, mercy is, compassion is, long suffering is. If you can suffer long, for making an oil. You can suffer long for creating an app. And guess what? You're going to see the fruits of your labor. And everybody else who deserted you, who left you, who didn't believe in you, who thought you were crazy, who thought that you were, a Bible bumping Rastafari with the red, green, and gold, and what is that? And oh my goodness, what's she talking about? All of those people, God is going to make to see my accomplishments. Yeah. And they're going to wish to God, that they did not abandon me. Because who doesn't abandon you is God, the Most High. There's a psalm that says, God will not abandon my life. Other people may. People may leave you. They may leave you stranded. They may leave you holding the bag. But guess what? That righteousness of God is always present and steadfast and does not leave you, will always be there. Always. I tell people that. Always. Always be there. No matter what you go through. Okay? I listened to a speaker yesterday. He's a librarian. He has been clinically diagnosed with depression. But the library has saved him. Has not saved him. God has saved him through the library. Okay? God is amazing. God used, that's why the verse today talks about that. God does great things beyond our understanding. Because somebody said, how is he's clinically depressed and he's up there talking in front of thousands of people? Because what Job talks about in chapter 37 of Job, verse 5 to 6. Check out chapter 37 of Job 5 to 6. It talks about how these great, amazing things is beyond our knowledge. It's beyond my knowledge. He says every day he has to live, he's living for 24 hours a day. What can he do in 24 hours and not think about leaving this earth? And I seriously think my son left the earth on his own or something happened. I don't know. But people are suffering out here. People are suffering from suicidal ideations where they don't want to live anymore. They don't want to be here anymore. Okay. When my dad passed, I stopped eating. I said, my dad isn't eating. Why should I eat? I lost 20 something pounds. Okay. I was big. I was 170 or something like that. I lost, and right now I am working out because I need to get that energy out. My body needs release of the tension, and going to the gym is where I find that. So the gym for me, going to my campus gym and working out on the Treadmaster, doing lifts, boxing and getting that energy out is how I find works for me. You have to find what works for you, because great things are happening beyond your own understanding. And in order for that to take place, you have to be ready. You have to be ready. Are you ready for what the righteousness of God has for you? Are you ready? You have to grab it. You can't sit there and wait for it to plop in your lap. You have to grab a hold of it. Okay? Grab hold of it. So this is the Psalm today, 63, and it's titled, My Life Thirsts for Righteousness. And the word today is honor. We are going to honor those who place the needs of others above their own. So I honor my ancestors today. My grandmother Huldah, my grandfather Victor, my uncle Oswin, my uncle Lou, my cousin Luella, I honor my ancestors today. Mama Trice, Mama May Trice, Mona Lee. I honor you all today because you put the needs of others above your own. Mama May Trice, Derek, who said hey, and his mother would take in the whole neighborhood. Okay. She would take in the whole neighborhood. She put her needs On the side, she placed the needs of others above her own. That's why I created a scholarship for people, for families who can't afford to be in my workshop, who can't afford it. They get a scholarship to attend for free through the Mama May Trice Scholarship. And I put my own money in there. That's my own money that I use. And this is how I honor those who place the needs of others above their own. I create a legacy, a scholarship in their name, so that others who can benefit from them, by honoring them, this is how I honor them. Okay? And I have a scholarship, my godmother, Gwendolyn Moorhead. That's another ancestor of mine. She was an early childhood babysitter. She would babysit children in the neighborhood on the island. She raised a lot of children doing that. Gwendolyn Moorhead, that was her name. There's a scholarship in her name. Huldah Sewer, as a scholarship in her name for people who want to start their own businesses. She was a woman entrepreneur. She started her own guest house on the island. Okay. I grew up watching her run her business. That was inspiration for me. So these people who place the needs of others above their own come from my family. They come from other people's families. They may come from your family. Think of people like that in your life. So I honor those people, okay? And it's important to do that because we're not here forever. I'm temporary. When I turn off this live, you don't see me again till I come on again. And I may not come on. Something may happen, God forbid. But we have to embrace the temporary moment. Embrace it, hold it, and love it to the point where we are loving ourselves through the love of other people. Okay? When I love someone, I am loving myself. I'm going to love you how I love myself. And I'm thankful, actually, for the vicious voicemail person, because yesterday it was revealed to me that I have to give thanks even for that vicious voicemail, because that vicious voicemail was and is part of pushing me closer to my righteousness that is the Most High. So I'm thankful. And I want to pick up the phone. I want to call them and say, thank you for that vicious voicemail. You have given me the knowledge that God is more powerful than you. You have given me the knowledge that God is more brilliant than any vicious voicemail. And in that viciousness of that voicemail, I see the light of righteousness, believe it or not, because it has pushed me to commune with righteousness on behalf of that person, to ask righteousness, that is God, to cover that person with grace, mercy, love, kindness, long-suffering, truth, and security. Because being insecure causes vicious voicemails to come into people's spaces. But when you're secure in Christ and you have that Christ love, you will turn that vicious voicemail in onto yourself and know that you're not hurting the person, you're hurting yourself. And when you hurt yourself, you're hurting God, because God lives inside of you. And that's where God dwells. Don't push God away by being mean to people, jealous of people, envious of people, insecure about your relationships. Don't push God away. Embrace yourself by embracing righteousness that is the Most High. So I am thankful for today. I have to go because I am heading out today. I need to get downstairs to get something to eat. And once I do that, I'm packed and I'm going to be ready to go. Check out at this hotel is about, I think, 11 or something, but we have to leave before then because we have to get on the plane. So I want to show everyone my my coping. This is how I cope. I started crocheting. It looks like a baker's hat. You know those baker's hat they put on? A chef hat or something. But my daughter taught me this after the loss of my relationship ended, you know, and I found out that it was over. Anyway, this is before my dad passed. So June, I think it was June 9th or something was when that happened. And my daughter taught me this. She taught me how to do this. And it's been a coping for me. So when I learned to do this, I showed my dad before he passed. And I told my dad, I said, she told me she met someone. And I told my dad I'm sad because, you know, you're still in love with someone, right? And my dad said, don't be sad. My dad said, be happy. You're free. And I was like, he said that word, you're free, and that's the words I heard after he passed. He said, you're free now. He said to me, don't they have something like a breakup party? And I was like, Daddy, a breakup party? And I was just like, what are you saying? And then he made me laugh. And I said, maybe I should have a breakup party. But my dad always tried to look at the positive of everything. And in looking at the positive, he tried to tell me that it's okay that the person met someone. Now you're free to live. And I said, but I'm living without them. And that's hard because I'm in love with them. And my dad, I would always go talk to my dad about anything, you know, any relationship. I'm like, Dad, this person, and I would go to him before I would go to my mom. So you can tell I was a daddy girl, right? And my dad, I will never forget him sitting there on the deck when I came out of my room and told him that this person met someone else. And he was like, okay, that's okay, you know. So I'm going to leave everyone with these words. Stand in love. Don't fall in it. When you stand in love, you can see the forest from the trees. When you stand in love, you become a team with the person because you're not jealous of the person. Have a blessed day, Derek. Talk to you later. Mwah. Take good care. Be safe, you too. And you talk to the person. And this is, you know, part of healing, part of healing. So thanks so much for joining Chant the Psalm a Day. Have a blessed day, everyone. And remember, stand in love. Don't fall in it. Take good care. Remember, honor. What are you going to honor today? How are you going to honor? And then how are you going to give thanks? Okay? Have a blessed day, everyone. Take good care. Thanks for liking this video, by the way. Thank you so much. Take good care. See you later.